Hey everybody, I'm Brandon Grasley, and this is Grasley Games. We're back for another episode of MTG Noob, this time looking at equipment, which is a special subtype of artifact. Let's take a look at this one. This is Nurok Hover Sail. It costs 1 generic. It is an artifact equipment. Equipped creature has flying, and it says equip for 2 generic. And let's look at what this means. 2 generic, attach to target creature you control, equip only as a sorcery. This card comes into play unattached and stays in play if the creature leaves play. So it's very similar to an aura in that you want to attach it to a creature, but it's a little bit better in some ways because if the creature dies, for example, this artifact sticks around and can be, it sort of lays there and you can attach it to something else later. So note a couple of things. Because it's an artifact, you can't play it at instant speed, so getting it onto the battlefield has to happen at sorcery speed, meaning during one of your 2 main phases, before or after combat, but not during or at any other instant time. And also equipping has to happen at sorcery speed. So this is not a combat trick. You cannot play this during combat time to get it onto a creature sort of at the last moment before damage is done. So let's see how this would work then. Oresco's Swiftclaw is a vanilla 3/1 creature, not just vanilla because it's white, but because it doesn't have any special abilities at all. And this is a ground attacking creature. It sits on the ground and does not fly. So you can play it on, let's say on turn 2, you play it for your 2 mana. You tap a couple of planes to get it out there. And then on turn 3, you pay 1 to put Nurok Hover Sail on the battlefield. And then 2 more in the same turn, if you like, to put it on Oresco's Swiftclaw. That's a total of 3. That's enough mana to get it attached to Oresco's Swiftclaw just in time for it to attack in the air now for 3 damage. It's flying as long as it has Nurok Hover Sail attached to it. Let's look at another one here. Here's Explorer's Scope, also costs 1 to play, and then it has an equipped cost of 1. Let's read the text. Whenever equipped creature attacks, look at the top card of your library. If it's a land card, you may put it onto the battlefield tapped. So that's pretty good. It makes sense to give this to a creature that you plan to have attack. Even if the creature dies, you still get the bonus, and you can always attach it to another creature to get the same bonus again later. So Explorer's Scope is a good way to get lots of land cards out in a hurry. Demon Male Hauberk costs 4 to put on the battlefield, so much more expensive to play out there. Equipped creature gets +4/+2, and which is a nice bonus. Look at the equip cost, though. It's not mana this time. In order to equip it, you need to sacrifice a creature. So an expensive equip cost, possibly, unless you have a lot of cheap creatures laying around, but a very nice bonus of +4/+2. Here's Cranial Plating. Costs 2 to play. Equipped creature gets +1/+0 for each artifact you control. Look down at the very bottom. It has an equipped cost of 1. But check out this activated ability. For black, you can attach Cranial Plating to target creature you control. Now, it doesn't say it here, but activated abilities are at instant speed, unless they say otherwise, which means you can move Cranial Plating around, sort of like a combat trick, whenever you want to at instant speed. So although the 1 generic equip cost has to happen at sorcery speed, you can pay black to do it at instant speed instead. Here are the Inventor's Goggles. Cost 1 to play, 2 to equip, looking down at the bottom there. Equipped creature gets +1/+2, but check out the middle. Whenever an artificer enters the battlefield under your control, you may attach Inventor's Goggles to it, and that happens at instant speed as well. So you don't need to pay anything for that. All you have to do is play an artificer creature. Here's Nurok's Stealth Suit. 2 to play, equip cost of 1. Equipped creature can't be the target of spells or abilities. Attach Nurok Stealth Suit to target creature you control. That's a blue. It's a little hard to see there. It looks kind of gray. That's also at instant speed, and this is what's interesting about this is that the equipped creature can't be the target of spells or abilities, so that makes it so you can't target the creature and neither can your opponent once the Nurok Stealth Suit is attached to it. However, the Stealth Suit itself can be targeted, so your opponent could, say, destroy the Stealth Suit first, and then your creature would be vulnerable again. Here's Viridian Longbow. Artifact equipment again. It costs 1 generic to play, 3 to equip. The equipped creature has this new ability, Tap. This creature deals 1 damage to target creature or player. Well, this works really well with a creature like Sedge Scorpion. It's just a 1/1. It doesn't really do a whole lot, but if you attach Viridian Longbow to it, whenever you tap it, you can choose to tap it to deal 1 damage to a target creature or player. Doing damage to a player, not such a big deal. Doing damage to a creature, well, Sedge Scorpion has Death Touch, so it will kill it. That's pretty nice. And now, it's important to note that Sedge Scorpion taps, but Viridian Longbow does not when Sedge Scorpion is tapped. So something like Sweatworks Brawler, which has the improvise mechanic, it lets you tap artifacts for as a bonus, and so Viridian Longbow is still available to be tapped by Sweatworks Brawler to get it out there a little bit early. So your artifacts do not tap just because, sorry, your equipment doesn't tap just because the creatures do. Here's Volshot Gauntlets. Equipped creature gets +4/+2 and doesn't untap during its controller's untap step. So that's sort of a mixture of a good side and downside there. Has a much higher equip cost of 3. In general, we want to try to keep equip costs very low because that can be an ongoing cost to use a card. Here's Flare Husk. This one's very different. Still an equipment, costs 1 generic to put on the battlefield. It's a living weapon. Let's read this. When this equipment enters the battlefield, put a 0/0 black germ creature token onto the battlefield, then attach this to it. That happens all at the same time. There's the germ, it's a 0/0, but let's see what the bonus is here. Equipped creature gets +1/+1. So you're essentially putting a 1/1 germ onto the battlefield. It gets that 1/1 bonus. Then you can pay 2 at any at sorcery speed, but at any time on your turn, to equip it to, say, another creature to give that 1/1 bonus. Now, as soon as you do that, the germ will be only a 0/0 and it will die again. But it's out there as a 1/1 as soon as you play Flare Husk for 1. So that's pretty nice. So those are some examples of equipment. Hopefully that explains all of the important details about how they work. If you found this helpful, it'd be great if you went and hit the like and subscribe buttons, and you'll be notified as soon as new MTG Noob episodes come out. Thanks very much, everybody. GG, and I'll talk to you soon.